So this whole situation with this bank is it is the dream. You're going in for ClubGG, hardly anything, and somehow bank a trip to the world to play the event, the poker event there is. Like that, it's the dream come true. So.
Welcome to episode 6 of All In with Colin. I am your host, Colin Capone. Thank you for being here. Today, we're going to be talking with Tim O'Keefe about how he recently won a World Series of Poker main event package on ClubGG. Spoiler, he didn't even know he won a package until after the tournament was over. How sick is that? It's a great story, so stay tuned for that. But first, I want to give a few shout-outs to people who've had some recent success. Congrats to Emily Ariat, a member of the Fantastic Ladies of Poker Facebook group. She took second out of 3,649 entries in the Sunday Mini Lucky Sevens. It cost only $7.70 to enter on GG, and she took home $2,215. That is a sweet ROI. Also, congrats again to MyTag 2010. He got in the $320 GG Masters bounty again from a $30 satellite. And while he didn't make the final table this time, he did finish 80th for a solid $1,500. And finally, big shout out to Ryan Dentist Chair. He took first place in the $11 mini Grand Prix 2-day event on Party Poker for a whopping $9,700. Well done, Ryan. Also, shout out to the Edmonton Oilers on clinching a playoff spot for the 4th straight year. I'm a huge hockey fan and think the Oilers are going to go all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals this year. All right, I like sharing some positivity, so if you've had a nice score at personal best and want a shout out, send me a message on Twitter at PokerCapone. All right, I'm very excited to welcome my next guest to the show. He is a poker streamer from Fort Worth, Texas, who stays in both mental and physical shape by combining poker with fitness. And that's going to come in handy because he's going to be playing his first World Series of Poker main event this summer after winning his $10,000 seat on ClubGG. I am very excited to welcome Tim O'Keefe, a.k.a. 2fit2fold, to the show. Tim, welcome to All In with Colin. How are you?
I'm very good, man. Thanks for having me.
All right, so hopefully all that was right. I kind of checked out your profiles, find out a little bit about you.
Yep, you got it, man. That's perfect.
Okay, so you live in Texas, the home of Texas Hold'em, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised you're a poker player.
Yeah, no, that's the best part. We got Texas, but there's no... Up until recently, there was no legal Texas in poker, right?
Yeah, I was Googling to see how close, I looked, and it looks like you're 2.5 hours to the lodge where Doug Polk's doing his thing.
Yeah, it's about 3 hours to the lodge, but they have some in DFW area, but none of them that are, you never really know. They're always fighting some kind of legal battle, but
yeah, it seems like it's kind of like a gray area there, which is crazy to me.
It is. It's wild. It's like county to county. So the Dallas ones are still okay, Poker House and a couple other ones like Texas Card House. They're still good, but my actual county is never. They're just not happy with. So it's just bizarre.
Okay, well maybe that's a good thing because maybe that you wouldn't have been playing on ClubGG and you wouldn't be playing your first main event. So everything works out. So how did you get into the game then, and how long have you been playing?
Oh, I think I have a similar story to most. I grew up playing poker with the family kind of thing, the old school penny ante poker with sitting around the whole family on a weekend.
That's what I did.
Yeah, it's been in the family for a long time, but I didn't get serious at all until maybe 10 years ago. And I'd always played here and there, and but then got a good break about 2015. Started playing a lot more serious, and ended up, winning another satellite from another online poker site, and got a big kickoff with that, and did something pretty similar, and that steamrolled it. That was just the door to open up to be like, I'm going to go attack this pretty hard for a while.
Awesome. So where did you go play a live event from that satellite? Because we love satellites on this podcast. That's the dream, right? Yeah.
I started listening to some of your stuff and checking it out, and then I was like, "Oh, this guy's right up my alley. This is exactly what I'm here for and what I've been trying to do for a while." So, you're the first satellite we did through Intertops, which is now Every Game Poker.
Okay.
And I went to Austria,
Awesome.
won a satellite. Yeah, it was wild. It was just like with this GG thing, just super lucky, just luck boxing my way through everything. No skill involved, just in the right place at the right time. And Binked won to Austria. That was amazing. I've never been overseas before or anything like that. And it was a little ski village. They treated me great. It was an awesome experience. I was hooked, right there. It's like, this is amazing. We got to try this. And came back and literally the next day after the trip was over, came back and they were running satellites to Aruba.
Nice.
And I jumped into the last one. I basically got off the plane, went home, jumped online, jumped into the last satellite, and somehow Binkton won to Aruba. That it was just
incredible.
Insane karma. Yeah, talk about run good, lucky, just nuts. And so we started off a nice little collaboration with them. Went to Aruba and went to a couple other spots, but nothing quite like a main event scene.
Okay, so you've never played the main event, right?
I've never played the main event. I've gone to the WSOP probably the last 4 or 5 years in a row. Played the Millie Maker, some other ones here and there. But never the main, man. Never the main. Very excited.
Yeah, that must be so exciting. I've never played it either, but yeah, you hear stories about how everyone their first main, so you must be just pumped.
Yeah, I mean, it was the dream. I mean, literally, that's all I could think. This is what we all try for. And even when I tried to play, I tried professionally for a little while, took some time off and from work and tried professionally. It's such a hard way of life and to play it all the time. So this whole situation with this Bink is it is the dream, you're going in for ClubGG, hardly anything, and somehow Bink a trip to the world to play the event, the poker event there is like that. It's the dream come true. So
that's
check
amazing.
it off the bucket list.
Yeah, exactly. So you work, then you have a job?
I do physical therapy. So that's part of the monkey or the 2fit2fold I had a career in physical therapy. And then ran a little hot for that 2015 era, It was like, okay, we're going to take some time off of this. Working is overrated. I'm trying to play poker for a living. So I tried to incorporate the physical aspect of it, and physical therapy stuff into poker life, which was much, much harder than I ever expected.
For sure.
But I did physical therapy and took a break, played for a while. Realized that the lifestyle is just so much different and difficult to stay healthy and stay on track of everything else in life.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's good to have it, and there's a lot less stress if you have a job, and then you can, you're not as, not as stressed, and it's easier to play and be relaxed, right?
100%, yeah.
So have you heard about this fitness bet that Shaun Deeb just took with Bill Perkins?
I just saw something about it this morning. Something like he wants to get to 17% or something.
Yeah.
Before.
So there was. I'll give you a little recap. So there was a video of him at a final table last week, and he was eating a bunch of just crushing chicken fingers right at the final table. And someone videoed it. A little bit of shaming, kind of bullying, but it was his buddy that did it, so it's kind of in good humor. But
yeah, he's a good sport.
Yeah. So Bill Perkins offered him a bet. I think it was 20-1 at first if he can get to 10% body fat, and then Shaun Deeb said, "Let's make it realistic." And they settled on 17%. So Shaun Deeb put up $100K, and he has to get to 17% body fat by next year, so 2024 WSOP. And if he wins $1 million. $1 million. So, I mean, and he I don't know what his percentage is right now, but it's nowhere close to 17.
Nowhere. Yeah. I remember the first year I did finally get to the World Series. I remember him. It was the year he was running back and forth. I mean, I'm sure he does it every year, but they made it a big deal on Poker News and stuff. But him playing two tournaments at the same time, and I was in the room, playing a much cheaper tournament.
Yeah,
and I watched him run back and forth across the room from tournament to tournament a couple times. So seeing him in person in action like that. I don't know. I'd probably take the bet again.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. You got any quick tips or anything? Any suggestions for him?
Oh, quit poker.
Yeah, just focus on it, right?
I mean, it's that was my most difficult, I think, transition was you're sitting, especially if you're trying to play live professionally, it's just the sitting for literally 12, 14 hours a day. I mean, I developed back problems myself, and I've always been, into exercise and fitness, and I still was falling apart. The food, the constant, just not just sitting still all day is so bad for you. So I would tell him, yeah, to stop playing for a year and focus 100% on that.
Focus on win the bet, and then he can go back to playing for sure. And if he does want to play, then yeah, he's going to have to for sure be moving around during the day or standing up or doing a lot,
man.
right? Like it's going to be tough.
There's so much to that. But he could probably lose weight. He could lose a ton of weight, but if he's going straight body fat percentage, that's going to be tough.
I guess even if he loses, if he comes close, it's going to be good for him. I guess.
For sure. I mean, I'm always trying to look for ways to incorporate, trying to keep the, that live aspect, or even online. You sit for so long, and even myself, like I have the stream going, and I still forget to do stuff. Or you could easily just get up and move around a little bit, but you don't. So, yeah, it's got to be tough, but it'll definitely be worth it for him to stay healthy in the long run.
For sure. All right, so I saw after you won that, ClubGG sent a tweet out showing the winners, and I saw you responded that you won. So I clicked on your tweet, and I saw someone congratulated you, and you said you were a luck box, and at first you didn't even know you were playing for the main event seat. Is that true?
100% true that I'm a luck box and an idiot, because I did not. So, like I said, I was checking on your stuff, and it's like, oh, it sounds a lot like what I got going on. And so I have a 1-year-old, and they're a lot of work, right? So sure. I was doing streaming for a while, and it just caught up to me, and I was like, I need to take a break and pull it back a notch. And ClubGG just fit perfectly with their mobile app is amazing, right? For sure. The software's great. So I just jump on in one table on my phone while I'm trying to juggle my 1-year-old,
Yeah.
So I jump in, I mess around here and there, but I haven't had much time. So, and I saw those satellites running and said, oh, I'll just, jump into this. It's getting kind of late, but let me feed this kid, get him to bed, do our thing, and click some buttons here and there. And sure enough, I forget I registered the tournament.
Okay.
I hadn't even been on ClubGG in like a week, I think. So I didn't realize what the promotion was. I just said, oh, okay, here's a late night tournament I can mess around with. Get to bed and then realize, oh, I forgot about that tournament. And open up my phone. I got like 10 bigs, or I'm super late to everything. Somehow I'm still alive with like 10 bigs.
So you've been blinding out.
I've just been blinding out this whole time because I had registered well before it started. And kid distracts you, it's kids.
Sure.
But I don't, straight luck box. I literally just, every time I get down to 10 big blinds, I get a hand to get it all in with and double up. And literally ran that way for the rest of the night. And now I get up at 6 o'clock. So I'm sitting there thinking, okay, whatever. Like, I'll just go all in with this hand. And if I double up, I guess I'm locked in for a little while longer,
Sure.
Judging how much sleep I'm going to lose before I have to go back to work in the morning. And literally just did that same thing. And every time another hour would go by and I'd double up somehow, and hour will go by, and next thing I know, it's midnight, and I'm thinking, man, I should, this is probably pretty serious now, and I should probably we're getting pretty deep. And then I went on a little heater at the end, where next thing you know, I'm at the final table with 2-1 at least on most of the table, if not 3-1.
Wow.
Chip lead, and I'm like, wait, these people, this is playing really tight for ClubGG, it was one of those things where I'm like, man, these people are playing real serious right now. And I kid you not, my phone is sitting on 10%. I still haven't switched over because now the kids are in bed, the wife's in bed. I'm trying to be quiet. And I'm like, I don't want to jinx it and get out of this, to close it out and read what this tournament really is. I honestly was figuring it was maybe a step satellite,
Sure.
Maybe this is step 1 or whatever it was, to the WSOP, similar to the MSPT, $1,100 satellites they were running all the time. I figured maybe a 1K
get into the final or something.
Yeah, it was I was like 500, 1K. Like, all right, I got to take this serious, but I'm not going to jinx it. And I'm afraid my phone's going to die. So I'm just going to go sit and plug it in and get comfortable. And sure enough, next thing you know, I'm in bed to clicking buttons, hoping my phone doesn't die, and just like literally just got to be able to steamroll the table because I had no idea it was so serious.
Wow.
So I honestly, I mean, it was people are going to hate me for that, but it really was just I didn't know, and it 100% helps because I was bluffing, I'm triple barreling, I'm even if it was just c betting nonsense, it was enough that everyone was so short and they were all playing so serious that I just got to kind of run it over, and then the inevitable happens where I get heads up and I had like a 7-1
Wow.
heads up, and then he just started tearing me up.
Oh,
And I was like, oh, there it is. Like, here's the ultimate letdown. We get heads up, dominated, and then we give it away. But still, again, just sure enough, I think I caught him. He built his way back up, and then I think he grinded back down. And unfortunately for him, just had the butt end of the straight. I think for the final hand, where I had I had the top end, he had the bottom end. It was just nothing you could do, kind of thing. And I'm like, oh crap, I won. This is awesome. Like this is, now it's like 1 a.m. I'm trying not to wake anybody up.
And then you get the
chaos.
message on there saying, congratulations, you won World Series Poker main event seat.
Yeah. We'll see for the actual message when it says, oh, you won, congratulations, first out of so many, it just says, for the tournament name, WSOP Road to Vegas. And I was like, oh, okay. So it's a step tournament. But literally, this is I got to give them credit where credit's due. Before I even could close out the app to go onto the website to read it, I get an email congratulating me, and I open it up, and it's like that exact thing in the top head of the email. I mean, literally 30 seconds after I won, they emailed me, congratulations, and the rundown, and I'm reading it, and I'm slowly losing my mind as it's sinking in as to what just happened. I was like, wait, what? Does that say main event seat? Wait, you can't. I'm losing it in my house at 1 a.m. trying not to wake the baby up. I mean, it was literally just. I'm like, who can I call? Who's awake right now? Do I go wake up my wife and just scream at her? She'll kill me for that one.
Yeah, that I can imagine. That is amazing, man. What a story!
It was nuts.
So you probably got no sleep that night because you're wired.
Wide awake. I mean, I literally was sitting there. I'm like, who can I wake up right now? I mean, I was as ecstatic as you can get, and no outlet. So yeah. I stared at the ceiling with a big shitting grin on my face, just happy as you can get, but no sleep.
Oh, that's amazing. So that's awesome. Congrats. I was going to ask you for any tips for other people who are playing these, but I think maybe just close your eyes and no pressure.
Yeah, maybe that. Yeah, I swear, I think that's really. It helped me. It definitely helped more than hurt because I know if it was reversed, I would have been playing the same way, and I'd be hating on me right now as well for even admitting that. But I can't take credit. I mean, I did the best I could, but it was definitely just worked in my favor that I was ignorant.
Yeah, you know what? And I think it's just good karma for all of the work that you put in over the years, and it's kind of just that was ready to be your moment, and now you got it. So I hope you take advantage of it. Are you going to do any preparation for it?
Yeah, well, that's you hit it on the head, man. Like I've taken a step back, and somehow this happened. It's one of those things for all you. If anybody will stop being mad at me for winning first, like to see that. Sometimes you push so hard for something, and you got to take a big step back, and maybe the universe will reward you by being a luck box like me. But you got to take things in perspective. So it was. I don't know if I could say I'm going to do any prep or anything because it worked out pretty good just going in blind.
Sure. All right. Are you going to be going there with anybody? Are you going solo? Are you going to try to get some friends going with you, or what are your plans?
Well, usually, so I still have friends with you every game. site where they go out for the Millie Maker every year, but it actually would run for like it runs the week before.
Okay.
The main. So I to get that kind of time away from family and work is going to be tough. So hopefully we can all meet up with them as they go, and we might get some poker friends, stragglers that want to come along for the ride that I'd be happy to have on the rail. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully I can pull some much better players to come give me some tips.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. Any pros that you'd like to be run into at your table, or anything that anyone you'd like to play with? Any heroes?
I've met a few in the running. So Choctaw and Windstar are close to us here, and Choctaw has the main that comes through. WPT comes through, and I've played with a handful here and there. I've always been too shy to like get pictures with any of them. To be a fanboy. Really say, hey, got a picture. So Phil Hellmuth, I played right next to him once at Choctaw, and I still didn't have the nerve. Plus, I was distracted because he had on these crazy shiny gold shoes the whole time.
Nice.
And his antics, was one of those things. You never get a word in edgewise. But I think we got a picture with Negreanu a couple of years ago. So, all the big names, they're fun to see. Even just being in that environment, it's always so fun. They're all just walking around being normal guys.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so much better that way, where you're still a fanboy, and there's a bunch I definitely would love to pick their brains, but I can't say any one in particular. Maybe Shaun Deeb after that bet that he took.
Yeah, he'll be running faster now.
Yeah,
he'll just be jogging in between hands.
Maybe I can sign on board to get a cut of that and give him some fitness tips or something.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. All right, so Tim, how do I know you said you're taking a step back, but you stream on occasion. So how do people find you then? What's your Twitch?
Oh, just 2fit2fold across all social media and Twitch. And check me out every once in a while now, and I can get a break from the kiddo. Yeah, we'll get some streaming in and get back to poker. We definitely have to do something to get ready.
Yeah, I remember having those newborn and those 1-year-olds, and I would have my baby, and I would be putting them to sleep and feeding them. I remember every break, so on the 55 minutes of the hour, I would run, do a little diaper change, warm the bottle, do all that. So I've been there.
Yeah, it's multitasking at another level, right?
Yeah, exactly. Cool. All right. Well, thanks for doing this, Tim. I really appreciate it. I'm going to be watching and seeing how you do and hoping for you. And then hopefully we can have you back after a big, deep run in the main event.
Sounds awesome. I hope so, too.
All right. Thanks, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right. And now it's time for my tournament of the week. This is a high-value tournament I think all recreational players should be playing. Okay, so we just heard about how Tim O'Keefe won his seat to the World Series of Poker main event. Wouldn't you like to win one? Right now on GG Poker, they're running the Road to Vegas. In the client, you will see the tab for it at the top of it. It's clearly marked Road to Vegas. This Sunday, April 9th at 10 a.m. Eastern, they're going to have a $15 satellite that's giving away a minimum of 120 entries to a $140 mega satellite. That mega is going to have at least 50 seats into the final main event media stage, which is a $1,175 buy-in, and will have a minimum of 20 World Series of Poker main event packages up top. These packages include your $10,000 buy-in, 7 nights hotel, and $1,000 cash. Okay, so to recap, the path I recommend is play the $15 satellite, win a $140 seat. Win that, you got $1,175 seat. Win that, boom, you got a $12,000 package, and you're going to play the World Series on Poker main event. Could you imagine getting to play it for $15? Someone's going to do it. Might as well be you. All right, that's it for another episode of All In with Colin. If you like this, please hit that follow button and share with your friends. It really helps. And I'll be back next week with an all new episode. All right. Thanks, man. I think that was really good.
That was awesome. Thanks so much, man. That's cool.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I genuinely hope that you run good and have a big score, and it could be a life changer, right? So
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I'll be happy if I make it past day one. It's one of those things. But yeah, like I said before, it's the dream come true just to be able to actually play this. Even when I was playing professionally,
yeah,
quote unquote, it was, it's just still such a high buy-in. If you don't win your way in,
for sure.
it's out of reach for most people. So this
Exactly.
is definitely a dream come true.
And you got no pressure. I mean, just
That's the thing. I remember the first year I went up there. You do the sit and goes and stuff. You
Yeah.
can run it up. You can run it up from 250 or 125, but it's still super, obviously long shot. But you get to having 5K and chips in your pocket, and you're thinking, this is a lot of money. Like, am I really going to put this into another poker tournament?
yeah,
So, honestly, I mean, I'm not trying to even shill for ClubGG, even though I very much appreciate it. It really is like the only way myself, and I'm sure a lot of other people would ever be able to do this. Like it's 10K. Let's free roll. That's insane.
insane. Awesome.
Insane, so.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm glad you did it this way, and then versus putting it in your own money and saving up. So this is awesome.
Yeah, 100%. Like the amazing opportunity. I can't wait for it. It's gonna be awesome.
Man. All right. Okay. Good luck. Thanks, man, and have a good rest of the weekend.